Hello everybody, we are climbing the rating ladder and we have reached the heady heights of 926. We've got a new 15 plus 10, we've got an opponent rated 944 from India, and let's see what we get. Okay, I'm going to go for the throat. I'm going to try and be principled to some degree, right? But this is a gambit. And people say, well, if you're a beginner, should you play gambits? Well, why not? Yeah. The whole point of gambits is you give up normally one pawn, sometimes two pawns, sometimes a piece, in return for getting your other stuff out on the board, rapidly giving you attacking opportunities. Okay? So it's compensation. It's not all about material. Now I have to confess, I don't know what this move is. This move, bishop b4 check. Walk straight into c3, if I want c3. I could block with the knight as well, which is developing. We have tension with the pawns here. So if c3 and pawn takes, my pawn is pinned on c3, can't recapture. But then I've got knight takes, it's plenty defended. If I play, for example, block with the knight and takes, I just take that. But I like c3 because it opens up my queen and it comes with tempo on the bishop. Now, I have two attackers on this pawn, two defenders, so I can take once. You might take that with bishop or knight. I also have the move d5, which is generally advisable. If you can push a central pawn with tempo, notice the knight can't come here or here because of this pawn. Right, so I push this, that's out, out. He can go there, or he can go back here and get in everyone's way. Right, so I've broken an opening principle. I've kind of overextended a pawn, but look at this. That knight is now getting under everybody's feet and being a general annoyance and pain in the arse. Okay. Developed. We're in the opening phase of the game. I've used 5 moves already. Now what I have done is got my opponent in a bit of a tangle, but that means nothing unless I can capitalize in some way. So what I'm thinking is I want to get my king castled, and I ain't going queenside because the c pawn's moved and the d pawn is absent. It's just not a safe place. Plus, of course, as I recently learned, thanks to a little tip that came up on chess.com, the king is nearer to the corner when you castle kingside than he is when you castle queenside. Ho ho. So, bishop. Now my bishop can come here and just help defend this pawn. Or e2. My feeling is it's got more scope on e2. Because this knight probably isn't going to be there forever. Okay, I still have this diagonal, whichever square I'm on, right? But here I'm staring at the back of that pawn's head. Here, you never know. Could come in handy. So we can now castle. I can play bishop g5 at any point. If he pushes this, I'm happy with that, because he's opened up this diagonal. You really generally don't want to do that. Okay, now I can come in and threaten this knight. If I take this knight, he's going to capture here. The knight is looking at this pawn. This is an issue. I can defend with the queen. I can defend with the knight. I can defend with this knight. I can defend with this knight here. I can defend with the bishop. Lots of ways to do it. I don't want to allow him to take the pawn because the pawn is defending this very important pawn up here that's like plugging everything up. So, I mean, this would be nice. Problem is it's in this bishop's way. Think about getting the queen off the back rank. Am I worried about this move? No. So I'm going to develop the queen. Then I might think about this move and eradicate that knight because it's annoying me. Notice also, because I haven't castled yet, if I take here and g takes, He might stick a rook on g8, very likely. Okay, he's castled. Wow. Okay, so this move comes anyway. Right, I'm threatening to take that, and the only way he's got to recapture is currently with the g-pawn now. Wow. It's got to be done. So we've got quite a closed centre right now. It's got to be done. It's just got to be done. It's just one of those things that's got to be done. Hadn't it? Okay, let's take stock. King's the only defender of that. That bishop's actually undefended. I wonder. I quite like that. Have I got? I mean, c4 is not a bad thing anyway, because if he takes here, and if he wants to throw in a check, he can. Okay, now what do we do? Capture towards the centre, I think. Can't attack the bishop, so yeah. If in doubt, capture towards the centre. I need to get castled now. I need to get my knight out. I might stick my knight there, actually. And what's the point of that? What is the point of giving up your bishop for a knight that's only just woken up? This bishop was in a good place here. And we had a pinned knight. Okay, that's a very kind of typical beginner move. Oh, I'm just going to trade off. Well, why? You've got a very decent bishop. Yes, it could find itself kicked a bit, but come back to here. Enough white castles, kings on g1. This helps nobody's cause. I think I'm going to take with the queen. It allows me then to going to dive in here. I'm going to get castled. And my opponent's just... what? Okay, well that lets my queen come into here. And hangs this point. This is what... Okay, let's think. Take... If I give check, he's got knight blocks. Then the queens are facing off. If I take this pawn first, he takes here. Then I give check. Nothing really matters. Okay. If I take knight takes, I can't play my queen there. Well, I can. It feels like a pivotal moment. I don't want to invite his knight up into the board, and I don't really want to open up his queen for no reason. So I think we can discount e takes f5. That makes sense. Comes here. Then check. But then it still blocks with the knight. I want to engage this bishop somehow. Maybe it's just this. Bishop d3. Takes. Then I'll get castled. But he made a couple of moves there very quickly. And I would argue really harmed his position. Oh. Well, this pawn on e5 is still undefended. And when that goes, this goes. And I can't see any problem because my junk is generally relatively secure. We've had some quite strong play from opponents in this series so far. I can't take that. I've got queen c3, and if he takes, I come in here. That's quite a strong queen. It is in the way of the pawn, though. I could just drop back. don't think trading makes a heap of sense, because he recaptures with the f pawn there and then repairs his pawn structure. That f pawn could find its way to here and then secure that pawn. No reason whatsoever to do that. So let's just play normal stuff. We'll come back here. I want to castle my king. Might want to bring my rooks, invite them to the party. I'm up only one pawn, but I'm up massively in terms of initiative. Look, he's got a missing pawn there. My central control is better. My pawn structure is immeasurably better, because black has 4 pawn islands, man. 4. Let's put them in different colours. Oh, hasn't got green as an option. Oh, I normally have green. Interesting. So yeah, here's the point. And these pawns can only be defended by pieces. These can't. One of these pawns can defend the other, right? But all of these are going to be vulnerable unless defended by a piece, okay? And that's going to make the end game very, very difficult for black, because his pieces are going to be stretched. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pawns, all of which have to be defended by pieces, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. That doesn't give him a lot of pieces left to do anything else other than defend pawns. Do you get me? Okay, knight's doing a reasonable job here defending this pawn. There, takes. I feel like I want a rook there, but also maybe queen c3, something like that. There, takes, knight takes. Yeah. But I feel like I need to get this rook. This rook needs to duck out of cover. This rook probably belongs on c1. I have 1 extra pawn. Where is it? It doesn't really matter, actually, because it is the e-pawn. But his pawns are absolutely ruined. Wrecked. He might try this kind of nonsense. I could even proactively preempt. Look at this now. He's now sitting for a minute or whatever. His last move took him exactly a minute, which was this, right? But it's his previous moves, a series of moves, 3.1 seconds, 1.6 seconds, 2.9 seconds, 1.1 seconds, and 2.8 seconds. Okay, that's the problem. It's these stupid rushed moves that you make. Get yourself into a pickle and then have to sit there for 2 minutes going, how the hell am I going to improve it? Look, yeah. This we expected. Now I think my knight is quite good, so I'm kind of inclined to just save the knight. Can't see an issue. f3 is nice, builds up a nice pawn wall against this bishop. Also traps in my bishop by equal measure, but you know, bishops. I can actually just win the pawn. It does open up my king, however. If I take there and he takes, I take back with the g pawn, right? His queen can then come in. No, she can't. This pawn has now moved on to square where it is no longer defended by the knight. What that means is it is only defended by the bishop. Now, what if I was to push g3, h3? If he goes back here, there, I claim that pawn then belongs to me. Or I just take. Now I feel like my knight's better. I'm going to do this idea. Right, now he'd love to drop his queen into this hole. Sure he would. If he does this, I just play rook fe1. Okay, now it's project chase the bishop off. But I can't actually do that because he can take it. So can I play this? Misa like this move. Don't see why not. Also, dropping the bishop back to d1 is another way in to put a second attacker on the pawn. There you go. That's why we don't play chess first thing in the morning. Okay. Game on. Game on now. Bloody hell. All bleary-eyed. Okay. Put my rook on this open file. Dear oh dear, sorry guys. Sorry about that. Now this could be repetition. Okay. I'd like to hit the row. Okay, he wants to double up, does he? Okay, I'm going to have me this pawn. I'm thinking about blockages here, stuff like that. Okay, a -4. That's not the end of the world. He still has bad pawns. I still have 2 rooks. In the words of Coldplay, everything's not lost. Rook can't come in here or here. Dear oh dear oh dear oh dear. What have you done, Hunty? What have you done? And that hangs to... What? Oh, man. Okay. Let's give it up for a bad job. Let's give it up for a bad job. Sorry about that. You know, it happens. It happens. Just not awake enough. Okay. So we've dropped down now to... So where do we? Started on 926 and now 914. Okay, let's go out again. The Bush Gas Gambit, huh? Okay, he's from an 815, man. But, so this is the idea. There, are you going to play your queen to here, something like that? Okay, let's have a look. And I know that like Jonathan Schrantz and people have played this and promoted it. I know it's super aggressive. Okay. Queen comes out with checker. I can block with the knight. Okay, now obviously the natural move is g3. If g3 is this with a fork on knight and rook, so I'm thinking king g1 and try and prove that you take this. I might even do this and try and force the queens off. The thing about gambits is that for computers, they tend to be fine to actually to play against. So you can normally accept the gambit, go up a small bit of material, and then play perfectly and convert the material. Okay, so there we go. So I'm +2 here. Right, now, let's reassess. The queens are off the board, so we're in an early ending. That's a target, by the way, but it's a long way away. Okay, I'm just going to come back and near the king, just instinctively. I have the bishop pair, which means I want to open up the board. Okay, if he gives up that bishop, I'm laughing. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. Just instinctive. I'm just identifying the instinctive moves here. Okay, bishop's off the back rank as a matter of urgency. This looks quite good in case he wants to castle that way. He doesn't have that because I've got two eyes on it. I want to get my king off the back rank, probably rook to g1. This bishop, okay, well that's kind of made up my mind. I'm thinking b3, bishop b2, fianchetto. First I'm going to do this. I'm going to play my rook to g1. I'm going to fianchetto this bishop. Nothing complicated here. It's a case of employing the big leverage that I have. What is my big advantage? Well, I've got a bunch of bishops, and that just drops the pawn because he's miscounted attackers and defenders. I'm now threatening this, winning the rook, because it can't move. I'm also threatening this and g takes. I'm also potentially threatening this. Huh? Okay, well, let's just do that and open up this. He's a blunderer, he's a blunderer. Throw a row in the check. Bishop here was going to be attacking a... Now, if I move my bishop, he does have this. I might even shut the door, because it, with this bishop, no reason why not. I'm +3 materials already. This allows this. Is that a problem? Well, it's a fork, isn't it? In fact, I'm up material. Sod it. Skewer. Only one legal move. Potential checkmating opportunities. Only one legal move. Do I want to do this now? There. Okay, bishop here, he has to go here. Let's practice some thinking. Now, I do have rook d1, but then the king goes off. Oh no, that's good. That's just good. That's just good. Rook d1. If the king goes in the corner, he gets checkmated. So you can't. You have to come out into the board and lose the rook. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Right, let's try and get back to our 1925 with another one. Okay. Blue fire truck rated 945, and we've got normal stuff going on. Oh, we got to have a scotch. Okay. Let's see if we get the Steinitz variation. Okay, we get the Steinitz. This is working okay. It's a bit dry, but then any excuse to take the spice out. But normal Scotch mainline, I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with it, actually, to be honest. Normally, you expect Queen E2 here, trade off queens, win the knight, we're a pawn up. Okay, win the knight. This bishop's pinned itself now. What am I doing? What am I talking about then? Okay, that's an attack, so I'm going to pin the knight. Right, why? Because I get to develop a bishop for free. And I'm threatening to take here. And then b takes. What have we got? Double isolated pawns, isolated pawn. And I'm a pawn up. And in this opening you can castle either side as well. In fact, sometimes bishop d7 then castles so that the king can sneak behind the bishop. Okay, so the queen's not really threatening the bishop because queen takes queen. The queen is really threatening the queen, so again, I'm going to develop a piece and defend. You see? You see the difference? A lot of people would just go, oh no, I need to run away. I'm going to move back here and defend, you know. No. Can you do what you need to do? Define the problem first, right? How many ways are there to solve the problem? Which is the best solution? Which is the cleanest solution? Which is the solution that improves your position relative to your opponent's position? Well, it's developing stuff, isn't it? I mean, part of me is just inclined to... I could actually do this. Hang on. Oh no, okay, something's changed, right? This is important. This is important. In this position, the knight is pinned. Okay? Because otherwise, he'd have 2 attackers on my queen. And only 1 defender in the form of the knight. Right? Now that he castles, you have to notice what's changed on the board. And one of the things that's changed is this knight can now take my queen. Whereas he couldn't before. So do I want to take out the knight? He's going to take with the queen, yes? Maybe I have this. I kind of like that. Unless he checkmates me on d8. Ah! Right, worst speedrun in the world ever. Oh my giddy aunt. Right, we're getting back up to 925. Okay, that's what's going on. Okay, balls out, no mercy. The Scotch. Three knights. Takes. Or just push. Let's push, grab the space. He can't go here. He can't go here. Now you have 2 pieces under attack. What are you going to do? If I win this game, by the way, I win 13 points and we get back to 925. And we draw a line under all of this nonsense and start again. Okay, I've just won a piece, so I'm going to trade the queens off. I want a quick finish. That pawn hung, by the way. Just going to play this like a blitz. Knight is now pinned. Bishop has a good square there. That pawn's undefended. Okay, trade off. He will recapture the pawn that defends this, but that's, you know, we're still up in material. I don't know if I'm going to castle short with an open G file. His immediate problem is that. Okay, just trade off more material. Involve this knight. Attack the bishop. It's only got 2 squares. So he's coming off the board. I think. Is he going to go there? Because if it is, it's looking down at f2. So what is better? Is my knight better? Is that bishop better? It doesn't really matter. I'm a piece up. Off it comes. Okay. Castles because it gets the rook straight on the open file. If any rook steps on that square, bangety bang bang. I want the rooks off the board. Okay. Now I'm looking at angles for my knight to come in. Okay. Yeah, just clearing the middle of the board. Great, thank you very much. That's brilliant. That's lovely. That will do nicely. I think f4, yeah. f4 to just anchor the knight in the middle of the board. Rook can't even come in here, by the way, can it? I can put my rook in here. The only way you can defend is this or this. 2 losses. My first 2 losses. But that's why you watch this channel. You're not in it for the quality. Got what, do just grab the free stuff? I mean, check here. Oh no, you can't go there. Check here, he just goes back there. What's the point? I mean, I still have the check. Lovely outpost for the knight there. If he pushes this pawn, this one falls. If he defends here, Now, what if this? I have a check, but then the king has to move. Let's say king goes there. I don't know. Probably just trade off. Rook here, trade off, king takes, win another pawn. Then we're laughing because we've got 3 against 2 on either side of the board. That's exactly what's going to happen. My knight can now come back to another splendid outpost. But I don't think there's any rush. I think we can just grab more free stuff on our way. King's actually relatively centralised already. I'm going to bring him in just to be sure. So 1 against 3 on this side of the board is not an issue. Let's take opposition against the king. Imagine he's going to go here. That gives my knight a safe square to come to. Here, here. Well, somebody's starting to run out of squares. If I come here, what's the king got? It says no, 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 no. It does have both of these. So I've got a check, but I don't see the point. Yeah. No, we can't trap the king there. We need to reduce his square count, isn't it? Okay. Swing him round. It's absolutely hands down 1 position. That's actually quite annoying. Now pivot round to here. And the king is going to be stuck on this square forever. Because he has to defend that pawn and he can't move there. Or he could just like wander off. Go figure. Bloody hell. You can safely resign now. The king can't go to any of those squares. His username is RageMan1234. So that even then that. Okay, now he's got to be inside the square of the pawn, which means he has to come to one of these 2 squares, or he cannot prevent the pawn from promoting. So he has to come to one of these. He's always got at least 2 pawn moves. Okay, look, he's moved so quickly. Longest move there is 18 seconds. Oh, then he's in the middle game, and then he's got 46. Wow. And now 34 on his last move. So you're definitely falling for my old thing of underestimating and forgetting to look over my shoulder. Now, what are you doing now? You've been blitzing your moves out. You're in a completely lost position. Don't do this. Don't do this, you Wally. Oh, well, it's a win anyway. Let's assume that this guy's just going to throw a tantrum and sit on his hands for a bit. So we'll finish it there. I'm going to be back on 925. We can forget all of this ever happened. It's just between us. Okay? Don't tell anyone. Okay? Hunty blundered his queen and then blundered mate against 900 rated opponents or 800 rated opponents. But yeah, happens. It's a game, you know. Anyway, this guy's being a knob. I'm not going to hold on to you. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll start again from 925 and with a fresh start. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.